It is not hump day, it is Tuesday. There's, if you live in Phoenix, there's a mural. Is that how you say it, mural? I have a speech impediment where I'm saying my R's, or I have to very concentrate in certain words, yeah, since first grade. So there's a mural downtown Phoenix, James Baldwin, on a building. So the artist who did that mural, it's the 5-year anniversary. So she's selling prints, some tote bags, some cards or something with her mural of James Baldwin. If you don't know who James Baldwin is, look him up. Great literary giant, black, from, I want to say, is it Harlem Renaissance? Is that the way? I have not studied history in a very long time. But I do have some of his books. There's an author by the name of Elin Harris that reminds me also of James Baldwin. He's a gay black author, just like James Baldwin was. He still is, even though he passed away, he still is. Anyway, so I'm going downtown to support that. My skin is looking nice, and this is just sunscreen, baby. So okay, don't really have to put nothing on it if I don't want to. I'm looking at this. We may not do all the stuff I was planning to do. Hell, okay. And I have the dress on already, with the strapless bra, which it is 91 degrees. Fall is still not here because it's gonna be 105, 6 this weekend. With that, let me get this started. But yeah, it's very bronzy, whatever. And that last look I did, what was it, last week? Turned out nice. I don't know what week we're in. Oh, the Story Slam, I did it. So yeah, let's put on some primer. I'm still using this, still working with this. My new primer should be here tomorrow. I think if I had ordered it Friday, like in the morning, instead of hesitating, it would have got here like today. But I was putting it off, so. Because I was like, do I really need this? Or I was trying to wait to see. It'll just be online and Sephora app for like a little bit. And then be in store. But now it's going to be till, I think till next week it'll be in store. So I just ordered it, watching the videos. I saw some videos today. I'm like, yeah, I think everybody and mom went down and ordered this primer, including one of y'all who mentioned it in the comments. I'm like, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. I did think about wearing one of my wigs because I knew it'd be so cool, but I'm like, it's humid. It's like, I think I read it was like a 34% humidity today. I haven't been outside, but my head is it's sweaty right here. It's not sweaty right here, but if I had a wig on, it'd be sweaty all over. As soon as I leave the house, it's gonna be sweaty. Let's put on the cape because it's, again, still 91 degrees. So it's still summer in Phoenix. So you can still wear summer dresses just like you can whenever the heck you want. Just put a sweater on it if you want. I opened up the new package of Ami Colé, so that's why it looks like this. And I'm like, okay. So we're gonna try to get some of that off into the cap. That much came out. When I was gonna say we're not gonna use all that. We know damn well. So I'm just kind of. And I think September 1st, yeah, is when she's closing officially. If you like her stuff, go into Sephora and see if you can find some on the shelves. Because every time I've been in there, like on the app, it will say sold, it will say out of stock. But if you go into the store, there's stuff in the store. So that's why I say go into the store. I'm not gonna buy the foundation stick, which I considered because I have too much. I don't need any more foundation. I couldn't really figure out my shade of concealer for me to have gotten her concealer. And her tint is very light. And I already have skin tint. I didn't set my eyebrows, that's what we're doing right now. Sounds like that. But maybe the lip oil, it's not lip oil, but her lip gloss, maybe if I see one in there next time I'm in there, maybe over the weekend, maybe I'll get one of those, because those are supposedly really nice. The 6, no, Unbreakable is on. It's part where Bruce Willis just rescued this lady and her kids. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a good movie. I like it anyway. Him and Sam Jackson. What other movie were they in together? And when I get the new primer, I may not have to do that step. I don't know. I've seen anybody else do that step. We are using one of my samples that I've had for a while. We're using Urban Decay. What color is that? That is C. I'm not using that one. Is that an A? Yeah, it's an A. Because I have the sample. Why not use it? And it may or may not rain again. Oh, by the way, it rained last night. We had a haboob. It is still monsoon season in Phoenix. We had a haboob, if you don't know what that is. Just go on the news station for like Phoenix, and you will see the wall of the storm across the city. That video is everywhere. And then, of course, people who live here are debating if it's just a dust storm or if it's a haboob. They're like, when did we get this haboob? I lived here my whole life. Why are we calling it a haboob? It's just a dust storm. It's like, yeah, really? I need to do this fast because it dries fast. And I'm like, why are we, like, I watched a few reels showing it, and every single reel is people debating if it's called haboob or not. We're going to use a brush. It's like, you know what? If people want to call it a haboob, let them call it a haboob. If y'all have not seen me use this before, it's full coverage. So, which is why I'm like, yeah, anyway, it's full coverage. So I don't use a lot of full coverage foundations. Things I try not to go too far because I sweat right there. When they say bring it down your neck, I'm like, I understand that line is there, but we know my chest and my face are different color than my neck. But I sweat right there, so any foundation, anything right there is going to sweat off. Ulta has the 21 days of beauty. Starts Friday or Saturday. I think it starts Friday. And one of the foundations is the Urban Decay. I'm not going to rebuy it because I purchased it, then I didn't use it, barely. And when I thought to go finally use it, it had separated in this weird way and kind of clumpified as well. And I'm like, because one, I guess you just rotate your foundations in the bottles, like flip it this side, flip it that side. And then Phoenix Heat, I think, also got to it. So I'm like, yeah. The mirror is slightly tilted. So I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time buying a foundation if I'm not going to use it. The only time I use it mostly would be, I say during the summer. It gets hot here in April. It starts up again in April and it's still hot until it's like 96 degrees at the end of September. So I'm going to use the sponge to absorb, but I don't think anything is really going to come off of it because it's fast drying. And I saw this interesting, there's a blip. I haven't looked into it, but that supposedly Sephora is dropping Huda Beauty. I only have one product by Huda Beauty. I have thought about the setting powders, but I was trying to figure out what shade. I think Khalifa or something is the one that most people my shade use. Basically about her, it's not political. It's about her beliefs or her stance against a certain group of people. I will leave it at that because I don't want to start all that. But I'm just like, y'all are really doing that? Okay. And so people talk about boycotting Sephora, and I'm just like, okay. Again, it's very early. I only saw one post about this. Before I can like look into it further to see what's going on. But yeah, I was like, what? And like I said, it's still early. I don't know what's going on. So much is going on in the world today. It's just so hard to keep up with everything. I was using the LYS concealer. Last night I decluttered some of my concealers because when they were old, like I looked at the expiration, it said 12 months, 6 months, and then one of them smelled for sure. And so I was like, one of them, like, it's definitely been past 12 months. It's definitely been past 6 months. So I decluttered those. And I still have enough concealer, so. I don't remember if this is fast drying or not. So yeah, I just decluttered those. I was just like, we're just gonna go ahead. And then during 21 days, they also have the Lancome one that I used to use that I haven't used in a long time after I decluttered it. So I just had to do that because I took my allergy meds because my nose was kind of stuffed up. Because like I said, we had a dust storm last night, and it flooded part of my apartment complex. The covered parking in the middle is flooded. So unless your car was already there, pretty much nobody's parking there. And I'm like, that's why I hesitate to go out, because that means I have to park probably nowhere near my apartment when I come back. Yeah. I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use the sponge. Let's use the side of the sponge. I'm gonna use this side of the sponge. So it's this shape. And so I'm like, I gotta leave my spot because my spot is right in front of my apartment. And when I used to live in a different part of the complex, in the back, where we parked, the covered parking was facing a wall, whatever, but it sloped down, so all that water collected. So again, you'd have to either back in, and even backing in, you're still gonna step out and probably step into like a couple of inches of water, because I want to say Arizona in general has bad drainage because it's a desert. They're like, oh, it doesn't rain in Arizona, so they did not make the proper drainage. So when we get monsoon season, it floods. So of course, apartment complex is also not going to have proper drainage. So, I just heard last week this apartment complex has been here since like '92. So I'm like, okay, I'm sure they wouldn't think about drainage back then either. But I'm like, okay, that explains a lot as well. But yeah, whenever it rains, monsoon season, whatever, oh, that was the end. Okay. Yeah, that was the end. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I caught it, I guess, maybe the last hour. This event starts at 5. I'm like, but it goes to 7:30, and I'm like, I'm not getting there at 5. I already knew I was getting there at 5. So I took my time doing my eyebrows, And this is actually just a pencil and not the pen by Benefit, which also is going to be on sale during the 21 days of beauty. 21 days of beauty, everything is half off, so that's why if I keep mentioning it, that's a good time to stock up on things. Like eyebrow pencil will be half off, foundations will be half off. There's Bobbi Brown foundation that nobody really talks about anymore, but I realized I did like that. And it's lightweight, so I'm interested in that. And then there's also the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte. I've never had the full size, I've only had the little. I've been wanting to rebuy the little one, which is usually $18. But if the full size is going to be $20, you must just buy the $20. And that one you could pretty much wear all year. Because I have my skin tints. So my skin tints will expire in this year. So I'm like, okay. That's how I'm thinking about it. Can't tell because this mirror is tilted fully. But no, that looks nice. So I'm like, okay. Going through things. Okay, am I going to actually ever use this again kind of thing? What do I need to restock on kind of thing? Okay. And then Danessa Myricks came out with a setting spray. Well, she's been hinting at it for the last few days, but we knew what it is. But it's officially, I think it comes out the 4th of September, 4th or 5th. I'm looking at August for some reason instead of looking at the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna put that down. And then let's blend out this freaking concealer. Is that gonna be liquid? That is gonna be liquid, but because I changed last minute. What blush I'm using. Okay, that still looks wet. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, I was gonna use a totally different blush, including the one that was just set. So I'm like, Sixth Sense is on now. I don't know why they're doing all these Bruce Willis movies. There's a special tonight with him and his wife, so I don't remember his wife's name. I remember Demi. I know he hasn't been with her a very long time, but you know, talking about his aphasia. I don't know the proper diagnosis, but I know aphasia since I'm a stroke survivor. I know aphasia is part of that. So I'm gonna record it because, of course, it's coming on right when I'm gonna be out. Like I said, I had no plans to go out tonight, and then I was like, because I thought this event was last week, and I didn't go. So I was like, oh, it's not. So let me just go ahead and go. Okay, I'm liking how this is looking. Because what I did last night is I swatched all the concealers I had, and then I put them down in my notes in my phone. Which ones were pretty much like the same color or shades or very close, so that whenever I do restock or if there's a sale to get them, whatever, and this one kind of matched a different one. So it's okay that, like I said, that I decluttered the ones I had. Because you don't need 50 million concealers. The thing is, some of them work with different foundations. So that was the thing. It's like, okay, which one? And I did have a thing that said which one works with what foundation, which of course I don't know where that is right now. And I did not follow, obviously, because I haven't used this concealer with only but one foundation besides this one. And that was just for brightening. It wasn't. I don't know what that horn was about. But yeah, people are starting to come home and I'm like, they're really not gonna have any place to park. So people, there's no way, there'd be a very slim chance that a spot would be open close to my apartment. I mean, I don't mind even if I don't park one of the uncovered. I'm fine with that. It's just there's not gonna be, there should be no room to do that. Like anywhere in my apartment, I should still have to freaking walk somewhere. I'm gonna blend that out in a second. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some walking. Just fine, because I'm like, I have food in the house, so I'm not gonna be carrying groceries or anything. I can also use this brush. Makeup artist I know, who actually did my makeup in 2022, when I was learning on my makeup journey. I had 2 makeup artists do my makeup. One showed me how to do it, did one half, and then had me do the other half. And the other person just did it for me and gave me advice or whatever. But yeah, the second one, that full former ladder thing, we're not doing that. We're using the TYS Beauty blush. I guess she came out with a makeup book, kind of a how-to thing. I have to see if I see her tonight. I don't know if I will. I'm gonna put this directly on my face. Yeah, let's put this directly on my face. Okay, that seemed wetter. That's why I was like, what's going on? I thought it was drying out. See how much it cost. Because I have a little booklet from the other one who gave that to me as part of her services, which I haven't referred to it in a long time, but I used to refer to it all the time. So we'll see. The thing is like you learn things and then you kind of do things how you want. That whole learn the rules before you break them kind of thing. And so that's kind of my philosophy of learn them and then also learn what works for you. Because, you know, I've seen people get the makeup done and I'm just like, okay. And some people do the same way, or they have the same method of doing makeup for everyone a certain way, but not everybody's face works that way. So that's why if you ever see me do anything, I'm like, if we don't have the same facial structure, it may not work for you like it works for me. If we don't have the same skin tone, if we don't have the same undertone, if we don't have the same skin, like I'm combo oily. If you got dry skin, some of these products are not gonna be great for you. So things like that. And so basically, because the products I buy for my combo oily skin. The primer I bought a matte primer because I have combo oily skin. There's a hydration one. If you have dry skin, that was the one you need to buy. Things like that. So sometimes I see makeup artists and I watch whatever and I'm like, okay, yeah, that wouldn't work for me kind of thing. And then like facial structure, and then sometimes you have to also take into account hair. Because I have no hair, as we see. Certain things like, okay. And then skin maturity, I'm 46, about to be 47. I do have fine lines. I'm not getting Botox ever. I don't want to say never, but no, because I don't. The whole vat poisoning thing, kind of. I'm like, what? But okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Like LASIK, I won't get LASIK because I'm like, have you seen Final Destination? Is it 2, 3? Whichever one. If y'all seen the movies, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm like, no. LASIK is not happening. Believe me, I've thought about it, but my astigmatism changes all the time. I just bought another pair, 2 more pairs of reading glasses. And sometimes I'm like, I was in the store, I'm like, oh, these work just fine. It's the same prescription, whatever. And then I get home, I'm like, I can't see. So I'm like, do I have to keep buying more? I even pulled out my phone to test it. Because I'm like, let me look at something I would normally look online to know if it works or not. Because see, that's very subtle. My dress has a little bit of pink, like this bright kind of pink. That's why I wanted that color. Versus I was gonna get, y'all know my Neo that I have. What is that? What kind of color is that? I don't even know. It's not terracotta, but it wasn't going with this dress, so I was like, okay, I'm not using that one. All right, let's set under eye. We're gonna use the puff. And I still have some in the cap, so I'm gonna just use what's in the cap because I don't want to pour any more in here. Just like that, but I'm gonna smooth it out to kind of even it out. You should always be doing it. We're not getting powder and then directly on your face. One is gonna be uneven and patchy, so always smooth it out. Let's get some more. Supposedly you shouldn't have to get more, but I'm like, it's summer, it's humid. So I'm definitely trying to set. It's humid more than it usually is because of because of the thunderstorm we had last night. That is way too much that I did not need to go back in like that. So let's push it out. I'm not baking, but I'm not gonna go back in, and I'm gonna sweep it off with that. We're using Mented bronzer. Now this I know is gonna be a bit much because this bronzer is always a bit much. Like, I don't know what's left on here. So I'm gonna tap it off, and it looks like this. But it's definitely good for summer. It's gonna give you that summer bronze. So I'm gonna tap it off my hand, and then I'm gonna start down here because I know it can be much, and I didn't want to start up here because even me doing that, I see all that right there. Apparently the Cowboys won their game on Friday. I didn't know there was a game Friday. I thought it was freaking Thursday again. I was just settling because I wasn't able to see the game, so I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't think about it, and then going out Friday, I was like, oh, came home, I was like, oh, okay. And then they don't have another game till next week, 4th, 5th, whatever Thursday is for the beginning of the season. NBC, Peacock, YouTube. I guess YouTube is getting into showing NFL games. I'm just gonna pinch this for the nose. They were doing something in the bathroom. For my neighbor. I don't know what. But I was like, are they doing what they did in my bathroom? Refurbishing the tub? That's how loud it was. That's why I was like, I don't know. Okay. I'm going on vacation. I might take that. No, that's a little too much for me to take. That's the potency of that bronzer is what I'm talking about. I'm going to Juvia's place for blush. And we're using a double-sided one, so cream powder. And this is volume 5. 5 and 1 are the only ones I own and what I use. They have other colors because you wouldn't think these would work, but they do. So I'm going to tap on my hand. I'm going to start up here. I realize I just did that. Like that. And then let's turn and go in the lighter one. And then go a little closer to the, but keeping that 2 fingers. I'm trying to think what else with the 21 days. I will do another video, but no, that'll be after it has started. I was gonna deal with the eyes, but yeah, the eyes have enough. This is Juvia's Place, the eyeshadow pencil, creamy one, and then y'all have seen me use it. Let me pull it out. This one in Morocco, and then a little Danessa Freedom palette just in the corners here, right there. Mind you, I put it on primer, but I'm like, okay, that's just a shine from the Freedom palette. So it's just like, it's kind of subtle. So yeah, the eyes, I wasn't trying to do too much. Okay, let's set the rest of the face. This has powder from last time when I was cleaning out the LYS Triple Fix finishing powder. I was using this to clean out, so I'm not adding anything more than what's already on here. And because this is pretty much a self-setting foundation, I should not need to. So I'm going to spread this out. Then I'm just bringing everything together. Because before it was in danger, it looked like it was going to come down, but as you see, it's fine. Okay, and I'm going to spray first with LYS. So my goal was to get there by 6. Parking down there is like $3 for 2 hours. And the parking is weird. Like, they have some spaces where you may not have to pay. Parking downtown Phoenix goes until 10 p.m. Yeah. And for some reason, I kept thinking it was at a different place than it is. I was worried about parking, but I was like, okay, but there's a garage. No, that's not the place. There is a garage, but they have apparently bad reviews because once you try to get out, you're stuck in there and nobody's on site to help you out. So somebody actually had to lift the thing themselves to get out. Danessa's new spray is one you have to shake because I guess it's kind of like a powder. That one, this one right here is like, because it's spraying, but it's like you feel it's dry spray and you're like, okay, is it working? But then there's this point where you feel wetness. So I'm just like, does that mean it's working now? It wasn't working before. So that's why if you ever see me go more than once, that is why. And I'm looking. Okay, it looks nice. It doesn't look dry either. Okay, it looks dry around here. But as soon as I get in this heat, 91 degrees still, and humidity, it will all meld together. We're gonna go with, we're still working with this one. It hasn't been 3 months. And I realized, because I had little last week or whatever, but the thing is I also had the eyeliner and did not set that eyeliner. So I'm like, okay, maybe it was the eyeliner that transferred. If they have, I don't think they're gonna have a mascara on sale. But if they have a mascara on sale, then I'll probably get that as well. And I just bought one for like, I say $9.99. Almost usually cheaper than Target, and definitely cheaper than Ulta. Ulta be selling for like $12, $15. I'm like, you could at Walmart for like $9.97. Target for like $9.98 or $9. Why the hell y'all selling freaking? Yeah. So I don't. The only time I buy mascara from, I'm tapping that out. I buy mascara from Ulta is when it's like Lancome. But if it's my basics like L'Oreal, Maybelline, no. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I did mascara. I was like, what am I waiting on? Lips. Juvia's Place, Longwear. You've seen me do this lip combo before. It's sharp. Yeah. I think talking is what's drying out my lips. Why? I'm like, I know I put that balm on. And it'd be fine otherwise. So I'm like, it's definitely the talking. Make it pop. Black Girl sunscreen. Because the sun is still out. I don't know if you heard the lovely dogs. I said like clockwork at least. What today? It came off. I had to reapply a little bit because it's a little funky. I'm looking at that. That's very glossy. This top part. I'm like, Have you ever been watching the new Alien Earth? I was meaning to, but I was like midway is playing, and so I decided to wait. Yes, I'm trying to figure out. One of these is rose gold. Yeah, these are rose gold, so I'm good. Got these from obviously from Torrid, if you could see through that. You know how you using Torrid Cash and you're like $1 from completely using Torrid Cash? This is for my plus size ladies. You gotta buy something and not everything in that place. Trying to find something cheap. I bought these earrings. So I was like, okay, the time to wear them. They're not perfect, I wish, because the thing is, to me, one should have this on this side and this should be on this side. So that's the only thing that bothers me about them. Oh, there's gonna be some other artists there as well. So there's gonna be a little gallery, a little showing of these other artists as well, besides the person who did the mural. Yeah, it's gonna, yeah. By the name, her name is Antoinette. The last name starts with a C. I'll put it on the screen. I want to say Collie, Internet Collie, local Phoenician, born and raised. She's been all over the world with her artwork. She did some artwork for the Phoenix Mercury for the second time recently. There's a mural somewhere in downtown Phoenix as well. I was going to go to that, the unveiling, but I ended up going in a different direction of town, so I didn't end up going. I digress. So again, this starts at 5. It's after 5. But I want to get there by 6. So parking situation, whatever have you. Rush hour traffic should be over by that time as well. And yeah, so I'm fine parking on the street paying $3 versus parking somewhere where they might tow my car, pay $20 to park for an hour and a half. With that, hopefully this will be up either tonight or tomorrow. Everyone, have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later. Oh, let me show you the dress. Y'all seen it, but I'll show it to you again.